New York Mayor Eric Adams came out against Democrats for the ridiculous language that Trump is Hitler. Take a look at the video.
I know what Hitler has done, and I know what a fascist regime looks like. I think, as I've called over and over again, that the level of conversation, I think we could all dial down the temperature. And I've heard people say that the former president should not be able to have a rally in Madison Square Garden. I strongly disagree. This is America. This is New York. And I think it's important that we allow individuals to exercise their right to get their message clear to New Yorkers.
By the way, Bill Clinton actually held the DNC in Madison Square Garden in the 90s, so it has nothing to do with Hitler. But yeah, I've got issues with Eric Adams. He's a total leftist, garbage mayor, but even he sees that this is, one, unproductive language for Democrats, and second, it's just false information. Let me break down both those things. It's unproductive for Democrats because no one believes them. Not a single person in their right mind believes the language that Donald Trump is Hitler. They've been saying it for years now. So what makes them think that Americans suddenly believe him now? Especially, it's so hard to make that argument when Donald Trump's already been president. When it's a mystery, I still think it's BS. But yeah, you could maybe fearmonger someone into believing that Donald Trump is going to do all these fascist things. But when he was president for 4 years, freedom, in my opinion, was much more available back then than now. And then, of course, economic freedom. I'm talking, foreign policy, not being entangled in foreign wars. Just as a starting, there's a lot more to talk about, immigration, but just as a starter, you can't refute that. I mean, it just happened. Like, I saw it. You can't tell me it didn't happen. I saw it. So that's kind of the unproductive side of it. The reason why I say it is just straight up false is because I don't even think they believe it. They don't even believe that Trump is Hitler. I showed the video last week of Trump roasting Chuck Schumer and, Schumer kind of laughing at his jokes. He's just kind of sitting there next to him. They're at dinner together. You know who you don't laugh at, guys? You don't laugh at Hitler. Like when you're sitting next to him. Maybe in retrospect you could laugh at Hitler, but when you're at dinner with Hitler, I hope you've never had that experience. I haven't. You don't laugh at him because he's an actual threat to your republic and, say, 6 million Jews. You don't laugh. You're dead serious about Hitler. And on 2 separate occasions, this is just another example, when a deranged lunatic in 2 different circumstances went to take out Trump in an assassination attempt, what did we see from politicians? We had Kamala Harris, Biden, and Obama, just to name a few, tweeting out the next day, "I hope he's well. I hope he's good. I hope he's safe. I'm glad he's safe." That's what they all said. And I can confidently say this, guys. If I was living in the 40s, and if you were living in the 40s, because I don't know you, but I just know, I know the logic of people. If any of us were living in the 40s and knew who Hitler was, and an attempt on his life was made, and he survived, the next day I would not come out and say, "Glad he's safe. Glad Hitler is safe, guys. I'm so happy that he was protected by whatever the armed force of Hitler was, whatever the Secret Service was in Germany in the 40s. I don't want Hitler to survive an assassination attempt. I don't. I just don't. He's an awful dude. I really would hope he died. In fact, there were lots of people, not just from the United States, but from countries all over the world that tried to take him out during the war. And so guess what, Democrats? I don't believe you. I don't believe you in the slightest. Because when someone tries to assassinate Hitler, you're happy about it, and none of you came out as happy. So that tells me that you either don't believe that Trump is Hitler, or you don't believe that anyone else believes that. Because if you did believe everyone else thought that, then you'd be fine saying, well, dang, I wish he hadn't hit the ear. Wish he had gone 3 inches over so his brain was on the audience behind him. Sorry, maybe that was a little graphic. But I don't believe Democrats in the slightest, because I just don't think a single one of them believes Trump is Hitler. You just want to fearmonger people in order to win. And here's the deal with this one. When I criticize Democrats, generally, I'm criticizing Democrat elites. I kind of like to distinguish that, Democrat elites, normal Democrats, because normal Democrats can be convinced because they're not corrupted like the elites. But in this one, I have to say, I have to criticize everyday Democrats as well, because I see it all over on Twitter and just Instagram. And I know social media is not necessarily representative of the populace, but I see average people tweeting things out like this about Trump being a fascist or Hitler. I don't believe you. Everyday Democrat, you're a liar as well. You're either deceived or you're a liar, but I don't even think you're deceived. I don't think anyone could be deceived on that front. Again, the reason why I believe that is because Trump was already president. Like, you saw it with your own eyes. So how could you be deceived? I don't know. But again, just be honest with people. You don't like Trump. You're not going to vote for him. Fair enough. Don't call him Hitler. It's a lie. I don't like Kamala Harris, but my one commitment to you guys is that I don't lie. I just tell you what I actually think. I don't think anyone believes that Kamala Harris is Hitler. I don't think anyone believes Donald Trump is Hitler. I think they're all lying. And guess what? Normal independents and Republicans, they don't believe a single Dem when they say Trump is Hitler. So it isn't an October surprise. I'm sorry, Democrats. What do I tell you? It's not an October surprise to say what you guys have been saying for literally the last 8 years. Guys, leftism is a cult. I firmly believe that. I talk a lot about it on my show. I actually wrote a whole book on it. It's up on the bookshelf right there, from George Soros over to Jeffrey Epstein. I talk about how the left is literally infiltrating the West and doing some heinous things. I mean, I talked about Soros and Epstein. Doesn't get much worse than them. I had a great time writing it. It's on Amazon right now. The link is in the description below. It's only $9.99, or if you have a Kindle subscription, it's actually free. So go check it out today.